Welcome to Lighthouse Education Consultants. I'm Dr. Bryan. Today we're going to talk about College 101 and the important things with key dates and what you need to recognize as a student. If you could, click on the link below, join our email list. You'll get a lot of free items for doing so. So today, key dates. What are we talking about? This is what you need to pay attention during the semester. And it'll be things like add and drop date to remove from a class. You may drop a class and get a W that you withdrew, but you don't get a grade. But if you did it after that date, you get a grade of F if you didn't complete it, or whatever academic grade you earned. You could have the midterms. When do they pop up? And the way, when I originally went to college, everything was 15, 16 weeks long. Now you have classes that are, and I literally teach the same class, and I teach it in 16 weeks. I can teach it in 10 weeks. I can teach it in 8 weeks. I've taught it in 5 weeks and in 4 days. And in the 4 days I teach it, the class, I mean, it's 4 days, 8 hours long. You just in there and you're doing it. Plus they have assignments to do outside of class. So you can teach these classes in multiple formats. Just depends on what it is, but you still have to pay attention to the date. So your midterm date might be week 8, it might be week 4, it might be day 2. It just depends on what you are in that class. When's your final exams? Again, the same thing's going to pop up, and usually final exams are not during the time that the class was offered, unless it was a special time. And again, that falls into the same thing. I've had, if I teach at night, usually the final exam will fall on the same night, but maybe not at the same time. But then there are times where, the class was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but the exam was on a Tuesday. So you got to pay attention to these dates, because what happens if you miss? Then you've got to either A, make special arrangements to take the exam, or take the F. And I teach a class where the department decided if you don't take the exam, you get an F. So these dates become very important. But you also have the due dates for, and this is, any papers you'd have in the class, any projects, any exams. Maybe you're doing group work and everybody's got to meet to get the group work together and then do the presentation. So you may have all these dates popping up. If you're not paying attention to them, then you're going to get in trouble. But one of the things we wanted to point out when we developed this key date webinar is some of this stuff is academic imposed by the school, some's by the class you're in, some's by the group you're working with. You also want to look at putting some time off in there, some rest, relaxation, playing with others, friends, recreation. It's not all about school, but it's a majority about school. But if you don't have something to recharge your battery, you're going to get burned out in college, and that's not the point behind it. So you want to start thinking of some time off to say, hey, you know what? I've got these 3 weeks off at Christmas. I need to spend some time doing, rest and relaxation. Or the semester ends in May, and then it's 2 weeks before it starts again for summer school. During that 2 weeks, I just need to decompress. So start looking at the key dates. Start recognizing what's important and when you need to get things done. I'd like to thank you for coming by. Look for other Lighthouse products. Please click on the link below and sign up for our email list. By signing up for the list, you'll receive access to 4 free webinars. And like I said, you're going to get a lot of different emails on just learning information that we come across that we think is important to our followers. And good luck in reaching all your educational goals.